Razer's been crushing it the last few years, and the Viper Mini is no exception to that. Today we're going to go over the specs, the performance, and how this mouse compares to its big brother, the Viper Ultimate. Alright, let's check it out. What's going on, guys? My name is Chad, and today we're talking about the Viper Mini. So this is actually the smallest mouse in the Viper series, coming in at just 61 grams. The dimensions are 118 millimeters long, 53 wide, and 38 tall. Now what's really great about this mouse is they didn't have to use a honeycomb design to keep the weight down. I haven't had any issues with flexing or creaking on the mouse, and it's built like a tank for its size and weight. So when the Viper Ultimate came out, I bought it immediately, and I loved everything about that mouse except for the rubber grips. Now, fortunately for me, Razer decided to get rid of them on this mouse, and I'm having a much better time gripping this one than the Ultimate. Now, if you're someone who needs that extra grip on the sides, you can always order lizard skins or a third-party alternative, and it should be a really good option for you. Razer also removed the buttons on the right side of the mouse, so I wouldn't really call this a true ambidextrous mouse anymore, and if you're not a righty, you're definitely going to feel a little bit left out here. So just like the Viper Ultimate, you're getting the same Razer optical switches here. Now, when I first heard about these, I thought they were going to be a little bit of a gimmick, but then I got my hands on them and I was blown away by how fast these things are. I did a lot of reflex testing with my old mice compared to the new Viper series, and the Vipers were always noticeably faster. I also noticed the extra speed in game too, with flick shots and peak shots being a little bit faster. So I would say if you're someone who's playing competitively, these can definitely give you a little bit of an edge over your opponent. Alright, so let's talk about buttons a little bit. 1 and 2 on the Mini are definitely crispier and more tactile than the Ultimate was. Mine has a little bit of post travel and a little bit of button wobble, but it doesn't bother me in game, so I don't care. My side buttons are literally perfect. There's no post or pre-travel. They feel absolutely perfect. The scroll wheel on the Mini is a little bit less tactile than the Ultimate was, and it lays a little bit closer to the body, so it's kind of out of the way. And this one also feels amazing to press, and it sounds really great. It's really satisfying for a scroll wheel. And also that's my ping button in Apex, and so I absolutely love how it feels while I'm spamming an enemy or something in that game. But I know what you guys are thinking right now. You guys want to know what they sound like. You want a sound test, so let's do it. Man, those buttons on this mouse sound so good. Okay, so moving to the bottom of the mouse, you can see that they got rid of the DPI button here and they moved it up top. Also, there's no DPI indicator on this one, which is kind of a bummer, but you can always go in Synapse and check it there if you need to. The feet here are 100% PTFE, and they're more of that Zowie shape, which I personally prefer. I feel like it gives a little bit more feedback for tracking and flick shots. The cable here is really great. It's the Speed Flex from the regular Viper, and while it's not as good as a paracord, it definitely gets the job done. So the Mini has a 3359 sensor in it. The default DPI settings are 400, 800, 1600, 3200, and 6400. And in Synapse, you can change the DPI in steps of 100, or you can just change the button to whatever bind you want. The sensor is definitely the weakest part of this mouse. I wish they'd just put a 3360 in here and charge like $10 more. The main problem I have with the 3359 is it has a really high liftoff distance, and I think on my copy it's about 3 millimeters. So one of the ways you can try to fight that is you can go into Synapse and you can customize your mouse pad and your liftoff distance there. But every time I try this, no matter what combo pad and liftoff distance I use, it always affects my tracking negatively, and I just don't aim the same. It always gives me poor results. So if you can get past the high liftoff distance of this mouse, it does offer amazing tracking and flicking, and everything feels really great. It's just a little bit high, and honestly, you can get used to it in like a week or two of gaming on it. It's not that big of a deal, but if you're one of those people that's just like an absolute purist of I need 1 millimeter, then I would look at the Razer Viper Ultimate because it does not have that same problem. So the shape of the Mini is definitely my favorite thing about it. The hump is a little bit taller than on the Ultimate, and it's a little further back. Also, the front side of the mouse flares out just a little bit. Now, really, I think this is designed for claw grip or fingertip grip. Maybe if you're really young or you just have really small hands, you could palm grip this mouse, but personally, I would just say stick with claw or fingertip, and I think it works really well for that. I really hope Razer makes an Ultimate version of this mouse with the Focus Plus sensor and the charging dock, because honestly, that would be the craziest mouse I've ever used. This mouse is so good as it is. If it was the Ultimate version with the wireless, oh my god, it would just sell off the shelves so fast. Okay, before we wrap things up here, guys, if you've been enjoying this video so far, then please throw me a like. It helps with the algorithm a lot, and also consider subscribing because I'm gonna have a lot more content coming in the future just like this, and it would be really dope to see you guys there. Okay, so if you can't tell, I absolutely love the Viper Mini. It's my favorite mouse. It's my main now. I've been using it for a while and I absolutely love it. You know, for $40, it doesn't feel like a budget-oriented mouse. It feels more like a $60 to $70 mouse in my opinion. Like I said, if they fix the flaws of the lift-off distance and added wireless, this would be like the all-time greatest mouse for me. So for 40 bucks, I don't think you can beat this mouse. It's punching way above its weight range in my opinion. And at the end of the day, like Razer has absolutely crushed it with this mouse, and I would highly, highly recommend it, especially if you use fingertip grip. It is absolutely insane for that. So anyways, guys, my name's Chad, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.